Another question it poses is, will any current player in the NBA break this record, the all-time scoring record? I'll kick things off. If Luka continues to be, posting up the kind of scores he's getting consistently and is injury-free, he's the only one, I think, in the league who could possibly overtake LeBron. But again, he has to do it for another 15 seasons without getting injuries and being a consistent player. But if there's anyone who could do it, it's probably Luka.
I agree. I reckon Luka is the best chance. And that being said, I'll probably just extrapolate on it a bit more. LeBron has averaged 27, just over 27 points a game. Luka's got in there at the moment. Obviously we know LeBron's probably going to be playing for probably at least 3 years. He wants to play with Bronny. So I'll probably see him getting maybe around 42,000 points if we're being realistic. So if that's like in the next 3 seasons. For that to happen, like for anyone to do that, they need to get 2,100 points a season for 20 years. That's basically numbers that we're talking. But the advantage of the players nowadays is that the 3-point shot is obviously becoming more prevalent. So it does give players the opportunity, to score quicker. And then if you add a 4-point line in there, then even more so, right? We obviously know the distance that players can shoot these days. LeBron had the advantage of coming straight out of high school. He didn't have to go that 1 year out of college. So that's a season already that, that he has over anyone else, like unless they change that rule. That being said, Luka, he's just turned 24. He turned 24 yesterday, right? He's 4th all time for points scored before turning 24. And if I'm looking at the numbers right, so he's just under 3,000 away from LeBron at that stage. So if he can close that gap, get within his prime, he's already getting to around 2,000 point seasons. If he can get that, then he's pretty close. It's going to be a close battle, I reckon. But yeah, it'll just depend, I suppose. Obviously there's all these different variables, like, if a player gets injured, like KD's second on that list. He was as close as anyone's got to LeBron, but he had all these ACL injuries and all that stuff. So that's the issue. It just depends. But Luka's probably the best chance.
Yeah, I don't see anyone doing it. I don't see it happening. I reckon, like if you said LeBron's right now done, retired, not going to play again, you'd say, oh yeah, there's a chance. But I think that the fact that like LeBron is still going to be, he's still going to be accumulating scores. He's still going to add to his points. It's not like right now. It's not like Luka's just going to be catching up to LeBron. He's still scoring points. He's still getting away a bit. I think like the sheer like amount of points he has scored over a long time, like probably only takes. He said Luka's like about 3,000 points behind LeBron at that stage. That's a season and a half, right? Based on that, and so he's going to make up a season and a half while LeBron's still scoring points without getting. He gets injured 1 year, done. That just blows out to 5,500. He's going to make up. Like, I reckon injury is going to happen to him at some point, whether it's short or long term. And I reckon that I just don't think that he could go injury-free that long and make up that. And like, if anyone's going to do it, I think it's him, but I really don't see it getting done. I reckon LeBron will hold that for a long, long, long time.
Yeah, I'm similar to Blair. I think Luka's probably the best chance of the current mob to beat that record, but I don't think he plays enough games every year to break it. And, you look at it, like he's still playing a fair amount of games, 72 games, 61, 66, 65, 52. But if you compare that to LeBron's games played in his first couple of years, 79, 80, 79, 78, 75, Luka gets a couple of niggles every now and then, misses 10 to 15 games a year. I don't think he's going to be able to break that record purely based on injury.
Yeah, no, I agree. Definitely not sort of in my time. It might happen one day. You never know what's going to happen that long into the future. There's going to be some good players to walk through the doors. But, I think LeBron, like, over his first 13 seasons, really, looking at this, he's played pretty much most of those seasons, he's played close to the full year. Like, he's in the 70s, sometimes 80 games played every season. just about. And Luka's he's played a fair few games already, but he's already missed a couple, and it doesn't take much to sort of, go downhill. And, normally you get some, if he's going to have a career span of, Luka if he's going to have a career span of 20 seasons or 15 seasons, the chances are he gets a serious injury or two at some stage, and that's really all it would take for him not to be able to score enough points. But, and LeBron, like Blair said, still has a few years left, and he'll keep ticking over the points and accumulating them, which bridges the gap even further. So, it's tough to see anyone going past him, especially because, there's been a lot of players go before him, and for him to pass, those guys, it's quite an astonishing effort, really.
Definitely. But obviously an incredible achievement, and we'll see. Well, I guess the future awaits, and we'll see if anyone can overtake the record, but highly unlikely.